Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Some juicy drama to kick off the new year with TJHaLy absolutely going at it with a wager kit a couple of days ago. So big words exchanged here, so big beef going down. But also Scump failing to get recognised by a pretty popular internet personality. Thought this was pretty spicy. Very much interested in your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Plenty to dive into today. First, I just wanted to mention Breaking Point retweeted this tweet last night. I don't know if they have any more, if whoever retweeted it has any more intel on this, but it was retweeted yesterday, this original tweet from November the 22nd. So this year's game, COD 2024, welcome to 2024, if you guys didn't see earlier, today's video is, we believe, going to be effectively Black Ops Gulf War or something like that. It's a Treyarch year, so, welcome back, baby. It's been a long time, to be honest, since it's been a Treyarch year. I mean, let's be honest, was it 2020, right, when they released Black Ops Cold War? Ever since then, it's been, Vanguard, Modern Warfare 2, now Modern Warfare 3. It's been quite a long time. The rumour has it that they're doing a good job on this Black Ops Gulf War game, so maybe this was just retweeted because it's going to be a Treyarch here, or maybe there's, more evidence coming out that this is indeed going to be the case. Now, I wanted to mention this as well, because this guy FaZe has been hitting up everyone's DMs, it seems, over the last couple of days. He DM'd me about this, he was then DMing, the Breaking Point account this, he then also DM'd even Rotation Ant about this and said the following: I'm from England, Luton, I sent this to TacticalRab, I've had a few pints, but I reckon a map like Solar, or even some maps from Advanced Warfare or Arsenal from Black Ops 4 would run perfectly for Hardpoint, maybe even controlling MW3. If you could mention this in a vid on the flank, hopefully we could push this agenda, hashtag English CDL. So, great message, but, let's discuss it, right? Because we're talking about Treyarch games. We know, to be honest, right, that it's not going to happen for MW3. For whatever reason, as it stands, you don't tend to get games from maps from other games from other developers crossing over, right? It can occasionally happen, but probably it doesn't. And look, I'm as sad as anybody else that we don't get Raid every single year getting played. Hopefully, Treyarch can bring it back, or they'll bring out like a Gulf War style version of Raid, I don't know. And of course, we believe that the year after that, Treyarch are going to bring through 2025's game, which is going to be Black Ops 2.5, Black Ops 2 Remastered, which is going to have at least half of the original Black Ops 2 maps. But for next year's game, Black Ops Gulf War, we're talking about throwback maps. Even for this game, I suppose it's possible as well. What maps would you like to see come back? Because I think what they've done here in MW3, remastering all the OG MW2 maps from 2009, it's not been as good as they could have done. If you're going to remaster all sorts of old school maps, maybe make it some good ones, I'd like to see them actually do a kind of best of, even like what they've got in COD Mobile, where it's kind of just the, greatest hits, really, of the map set in COD history. The MW2 maps from 2009, good nostalgia, but not many of them really play that well. This is Solar from Advanced Warfare, a map that quite famously Dr. Disrespect was involved in designing. I will say, if there's any map in COD history that would be the most challenging to make work, from jetpacks to boots on the ground, it's probably Solar. So I just don't really see a world in which, you make this map work. Everything required jumping onto. There are some maps, though, that I believe are viable. Certainly Black Ops 4 maps. I mean, these could come back really in a heartbeat. This was technically a boots on the ground game. Sure, you could mantle very high and you had a grapple gun, but most of these maps were designed, of course, for boots on the ground. I mean, these are some other examples here. I actually loved Gridlock, especially, and Hacienda, man. Such a good time playing this game, honestly. Seaside I wasn't actually a massive fan of, but any of these maps could come back and probably would be better than lots of the maps we have, to be honest, in the present day. I would also, though, 2024's only just begun and we're already back on the Black Ops 3 glaze, but we've just got to do it, because if I'm looking at jetpack maps that could and should make a return to upcoming Call of Duties that I'd love to see back in the game in some form or another, probably I'd look at a map like Stronghold. This is Stronghold, of course, in Black Ops 3. This, of all the Black Ops 3 maps, I would say is the most convertible to a boots on the ground map. Most of this can be played boots on the ground. There is, of course, the jump up to the top window, which did, you did have to use the jetpack for that. But, you could put a ladder here. You could put something to mantle on that'd make this very viable. There was also the wall run, of course, on the left-hand side. But you could just put a ramp there, just put something to climb up to into the bedroom, put a ramp over at the left side. I think only 2 or 3 changes would be necessary to make this map boots on the ground viable. These are the other Black Ops 3 maps just out of interest. interest. There's probably some others that you could think about as well. Breach might kind of work if you got rid of the spots where you can fall off the map. I love Fringe, of course, as well, but you know, you have to find a couple of different ways to get up into the top barn and stuff like this, and obviously wall running was a big part of it. Hunted Search and Destroy was good fun as well, and that wasn't massively jetpack dependent, apart from like the middle of the map where the waterfall was. You might need to think about that a little bit, but I think that of all the maps, like, you know, maybe even Infection as well, there's just so many good maps, you know what I mean? But Stronghold was my personal favorite at the time, so anything to push the agenda of getting Stronghold back, I will try my best to give it a good go. Now, a few funny clips to share for you guys. Firstly, this one I thought was kind of incredible here. So Mark from RDCworld1, don't really watch this guy's content or these guys or anything like that, but I do definitely recognize this guy. If you don't watch these guys' content, you might well recognize this guy because he's been around a long time as like an internet personality, and he was playing with Scump here, and you know, Scump was offering to give him some advice, give him some tips, like say, okay, maybe you want to do this, maybe you want to do that to play a little bit better, and Mark's like, you know, what do you mean? You think you're some sort of professional player or something? Like, what are you talking about type thing? Don't tell me how to play. And then his mate to like, yo, Mark, like, calm down, you know what I mean? And then he says, like, put some respect on my name, Cash Money Mark or something, he says, obviously not knowing that the true Cash Money Mark, as far as we're concerned, the competitive COD community, is Mr. Money Bones, right? Of course, that this is Cash Money Mark, as far as I'm concerned, the real Cash Money Mark. So yeah, I'll share this clip for you guys, and then I'll also put together this one where TJHaLy and this Wager Kid Raxi absolutely going at it here. Some quality beef, you know, like, it is what it is. It's internet drama, so, you know, maybe it's kind of awkward at times, but it's still pretty funny.
If you want to pay me off, I can give you a couple tips. Tell you that much.
Listen, wait, are you a professional player?
Yes,
it's one of the greatest of all time right there.
Hold on.
It's one of the GOATs.
Mark.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Mark,
my name is Scump.
Scump. Okay, I'm a professional player too. You must have heard of me. Cash Money Mark.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that's who I was talking
to. Thank you. You put some respect on my name. Put some respect on my name. I'm glad that we know each other now. Thank you. I really appreciate it. But I'm letting you know, I am. Listen, I center. Don't you center when you turn and stuff? I do that too. Like, that's just tough. It's type of shit. Slide, cancel, center, jump shots, drop shots, medium shots, all those type of shots. That's what I do. Headshots.
Snake is. Do you know what a snake is?
Do I know what a snake is? No, Rage? Yeah, Rage. He know a snake, I know.
Scott, you seen this guy?
That's all a snake I know.
Bro, actually, you're literally an ego, bro. He'll cry to your fucking community, bro.
Yo, 10 plus on you every game, bro. You were just an awful human being, dog. You're fat. The donuts are getting to your fucking ass, bro. You diabetes little you suck.
You're
shut the fuck up, fat man. You know you wouldn't. You know you'd kiss me. All jokes aside. But there goes your Dunkin' Donuts subscription, buddy. You just donated it to me. No more 12 packs for you.
Yeah, go to Boston. Go to Boston, buddy.
Hey, nobody's going to Boston, bro. I'm sitting my ass right here in Texas, buddy.
So what did you guys think about this whole Mark Phillips one, right? I thought this is pretty funny with Scump, right? The fact that he keeps doubling down, like, you know, he believes he knows what he's doing, and Scump's sitting there in the background being like, look, I mean, come on. I'm kind of surprised I didn't know who Scump was, but at the same time, like, I constantly get roasted for not knowing who various, you know, sports stars are in the NFL or NBA or something. So, yeah, I totally get it, but, you know, it is what it is. If you're playing COD, I thought you might have known who Scump was, but, you know, understandable. And then the TJHaLy thing as well, right? So, you know, quality drama, we know how it goes. Now, there was a bit of talk on Reddit here. People are actually watching this on exactly what happened in this situation. So this guy says, Raxi is awful, stick to Warzone, kids. But apparently TJ, at least according to Old Float, deserved to be chirped here. He was holding Rax $180, owed $360 for Chals, and then, you know, he lost and refused to pay. People saying he didn't pay out for this Chal either. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, I thought the drama was pretty funny. I do wonder what you guys think about the future, really, of what is going to happen with TJHaLy, because going into the rest of this season and certainly into next season, there's big questions on, well, what even happens with the CDL. Even TJ says that, you know, they broke GAs, I don't lose legit. I don't know if that was referring to that particular series. Maybe that's the reason why TJ decided to not pay up. I don't really know. But TJ decided this year, well, didn't really decide, I guess. He had to start in Challenge this season. He was, of course, on Vegas last year. He's been around the CDL and the CWL before that for a very long time and was a great player. I mean, back in World War II, was a phenomenal player for Rise. Won 4 LAN events that season, which was the most of any player in the league that season. Dropped 58 on that pretty famous London Dogs towards the end of the game as well. So, you know, TJ, phenomenal player in his day, but the last couple of years, obviously it hasn't quite been the same story, right? This season now he's teaming with, you know, Temp and Proloot and Spart. and they've looked okay, but, you know, whenever they played FaZe, they get slammed, right? And TJ says, you know, it's the TJHaLy effect. Ever since he's left the CDL, it's, you know, the numbers are going down quite significantly. So would TJ get a spot again? This is the issue when you play for Vegas. Now, I know that TJ, you know, would have known this, right, when he went to play for Vegas in the first place, that when you start on Vegas, usually what follows is retirement. I mean, it's only Temp, it's only Kismet, and it's only Priestahh that have, you know, actually managed to start for Vegas and stay on somewhere else. To be fair, even Temp, I mean, sure, he was on Vegas, and then he was still on Vegas, now he's not anymore, but he at least managed to last more than one season on Legion, which is a rarity, and sure, Priestahh's managed it now, going to Ravens from Vegas, and as I say, Kismet was on Paris Legion back in the day, and now, of course, he's had quite some success since returning to the league during Vanguard. But for 95% of players who have played for Legion, their career is over relatively shortly afterwards. I still think that TJ can be an asset for a team, but it's just difficult to find teams in a position that would want TJ, right? I mean, this is basically what he brings to a team. He's not going to do anything crazy in the respawns, but he's going to be a very solid search and destroy player, if not a very good search and destroy player, all things considered, as again he was for Vegas last season, even though they, you know, obviously weren't particularly good. The issue is, I guess, for TJ, that what team needs a player like TJ, especially when, if you're a team like, let's say you're Ravens, or let's say you're Vegas, and maybe your SMG duo isn't great, you can only really get TJ if you have, at least the way he plays today, if you have some superstars elsewhere on the team. When TJ was an OpTic back in Black Ops 4, when he was alongside, you know, the team was Dashy and Karma and Scump and Crimsix, with TJ there as well, you know, they had lots of slaying power, that team. They didn't necessarily need TJ. You know, TJ could drop 0.9, 0.95, whatever, and do well in search and destroy, and that was perfectly fine. But nowadays, if TJ isn't getting signed to FaZe, which he's not, then if you're, let's say you're Ravens, or let's say you're Vegas, for example, well, if I look again at the Vegas team, are you bringing in TJ for Nero, TJ for Stanley, because you need a big slayer to make that work? Now, I actually think that, speaking of this, Ravens is not out of the realms of possibility, because Gwyn has shown lots of promise and probably can slay out pretty hard in the right team structure. So, you know, could Gwyn and TJ work as an SMG duo? I could kind of see it. And people have also been saying, well, what about if Ravens just do last year's Legion? They go Clay, Donnie, Temp, Gwyn, and TJ. So they basically take, you know, minus Standy plus Gwyn and see if that's going to work. I'm not really sure that the chemistry would still work in that scenario if Clay and Donnie really want to team together again, but it's something to think about. But, you know, outside of those situations, what opportunities really are there for Tej? Because if you're looking at, you know, Rocker, you're looking at a team like maybe even Los Angeles Thieves, it's not clear on these rosters that there's going to be enough slaying power in the respawns from the SMGs in order to make TJ work. As I say, if you want to put TJ on FaZe instead of like aBeZy or something, I mean, look, you're never going to do this, but, you know, if you wanted to try it, but at least you've got Simp there, then you kind of know that it can work. If TJ plays hyper-aggressive and Simp can be the second guy, if you absolutely had to for some reason, then you can understand that it's probably going to work, but that's FaZe, you know. If it's not FaZe, then it's problematic. Of course, the next season might be a very different story. The CDL might be done and dusted, right? The CWL could be officially back in business, or that might be very optimistic thinking, but challengers might be in a better spot. There might be more teams available in the league, and therefore TJ could work his way back. So I think this is the case for quite a few challengers guys that are former pro players, that they just think, look, grind it out for one season, see what happens next. If we get back to an open environment, that's going to be better for everyone. But very much interested to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.